Welcome to Informe, a social media conversation, and this is our special Thanksgiving episode, and we're here to talk about social media. We're going to spend a special amount of time talking about Twitter, and then
I'm going to talk about Stumbleupon, and I'm also going to talk about Instagram.
We're going to talk about 7 niche social networks that you can use that might be just a little different, a little outside the box that you've never heard of before. And we're going to be talking about how Dustin and I think you could be thankful on social media. This is Informe, a social media conversation. Keep watching. Welcome to Informe, a social media conversation. I'm Nate Manahan.
And I'm Dustin Hickle. I'm the social media director here at Paper Media.
And what you guys don't know is, and you'll hopefully get a chance to watch this as part of our special Thanksgiving show, we've been recording these shows for about 8 to 10 weeks, and we're getting ready to launch something new, and we're kind of teasing it. It's going to be called Salcha, and it's a special academy focused just in news and information portal just for small businesses.
Yeah.
But we're just teasing it. It's just going to be out there. But this is our Thanksgiving show, and we didn't want to hide this, and we have lots of other shows, and we do a weekly show here where we talk about all the news of social media and try to apply it to small and medium businesses.
Yeah.
So we're going to give you a little taste, just a small taste of what we do here on Informe, and then we're going to talk a little more focused on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, so stick around. Hope you'll enjoy it, and hopefully you have some takeaways you can take with you.
Yeah.
We're going to go ahead and talk about Twitter first, which has kind of been in the news a lot lately with the IPO and all the other features they're rolling out. This Digital Trends article that we're reading here is telling us about privacy, that Twitter's really ramping it up so that it's kind of more encrypted like Facebook and like Google+.
Yeah.
Sounds like you were saying before the show, it sounds like unless the NSA is really trying to find you, you should be pretty safe.
Yeah. Well, what apparently is true, and I don't understand totally encryption, and I work with people who do, so that's how I roll. But Twitter at this point, if your direct messages weren't all that safe, and if a hacker who has any capability really wanted to get to your account, and we see this quite often, they could get in there and find what they want to. And so they're transitioning to this perfect forward secrecy system that Google and Facebook already use. It's just good news for us as small and medium businesses. Not that I don't share your passwords and don't have your banking information in your Twitter account. But if you're having a direct message back and forth with a customer that they should know that it's going to be secret and that you know it's going to be secret and private, and not so much secret but private. And there are things that you do on social media that can be private. When you want to know that your Facebook direct messaging is private, and you also want to know that with Twitter.
Yeah,
it's a
absolutely.
good thing.
So it's a good thing. Feel free to kind of start sending direct messages because it's safer, right? It's
and obviously Twitter has some type of plan. I saw with direct messaging that we've talked about in other shows that you'll get a chance to watch at some time, and we'll continue watching and following the news as it comes out. But they're doing all these experiments with the event following and the breaking news and through direct messages. And so they're playing with ideas. It's obviously going to be part of their monetization, I think. It's going to be part of their whole process. And this will make it one more step secure. They're going whole hog right in saying, hey, we're going to be secure. Good for Twitter. Probably maybe should have been done earlier. I don't know. I don't understand the technical side of that. But I'm always glad when I see that people who are in the know tell me it's going to be safer.
Good for Twitter and good for us as small businesses. We're going to talk about Stumbleupon, and I'm going to take this one.
Yeah, you jump on there because I'm not a user of Stumbleupon. I always feel like I should be. Tell me why.
Well, it's a fun little site. I mean, for most people, it's just kind of a place to go and find stuff that makes you laugh or stuff that you're interested in. I mean, you can filter down all kinds of stories to like niche markets that you want to read about or different things you want to read about, kind of like Tumblr, how you do. And then you just click the stumble button and it just rolls around, and all of a sudden a page comes up, something that someone has uploaded to Stumbleupon. And then, it's in my realm that I want to read about, and I'm interested and I read it. So at Paper Media, we use it. We use it for our blog posts. So, if someone's looking for small business blog posts or medium business blog posts or SEO or social media or whatever the topic is, we go ahead and put it on Stumbleupon, and we've gotten lots of traffic to our website. That way, people reading our blog and then clicking through to another blog. So that's this Social Media Examiner article has lots of tips. It's also a show. I think it's a podcast. That you can listen to. Really good stuff. Stumbleupon really kind of neat.
The social media, I listen to that podcast pretty regularly. I haven't listened to this particular show yet. I just read the article. But it's all about driving people to your content and using any method possible. And we often talk about that there is a amount of time that you can spend as a small and medium business owner and manager and leader on social media, and you have to choose what things you're going to. And Stumbleupon may be one of those things that you take 10% of your time and focus on if that helps drive your traffic. And you may say, well, there are only 25 million monthly users. There's 25 million monthly users. And if it's effective for you, then use it. And it may be more effective than Twitter. It may be more effective in certain instances. And obviously you've used it. So Stumbleupon, that's one of the things that there are so many. I'm going to jump a story here because there's so many different types of social media. And we often think the Twitter, the Facebook, the Instagram, the Vine, the big dogs, the ones that have hundreds and hundreds of millions and billions in the instance of Facebook users. But there's all kinds of social media. And this article is about 7 different niche or niche articles, depending how you say it, and how, I don't know if one is right or wrong.
Yeah.
But what I liked about this is another social media examiner. They do a great job. We follow a lot of their articles. We try to use as many, there's so many good sites that are doing all this, and we try to boil it down so you don't have to read them all, and we do. We do the work so you get the job done. But I like this. Of the 7, I'd only heard of 2 of them.
Yeah.
One of the things we like to do sometimes is choose our favorite one from an article. Obviously, you can go read it if this is something, but there are sometimes things beyond Facebook, Twitter, and Google Plus that you can use. What's one here that jumps out to you?
Yeah, well, we had a little laugh about this one before we started. One that sticks out to me is Gentlemint. I've never heard of it, honestly, and I do social media every day. But apparently it's Pinterest for men, basically. And that's kind of funny that they say that because they're kind of implying that Pinterest is more for women.
What do you say? I'm on Pinterest.
I know, and it's a great website. I love Pinterest.
No, but it does. I just clicked on it, gentlemint.com. It feels like Pinterest. I'm not using it. The likes, it looks like, are little like handlebar mustaches, and the tagline up on is a mint of manly things. And then it says, Gentlemint is a place to find and share manly things.
So there you
apparently, you have to be manly to be on this site.
So if your target market is a manly thing, so maybe you're selling hunting gear or you're selling baseball bats or I don't know, whatever you would be considered a manly thing, that might be a really nice niche market for you to go after. If you can afford to take an extra 10 minutes and start pinning things on Gentlemint, why not? I mean, if there are users there who are engaged, who are on that vertical that you're trying to sell to, why not? Go for it. It's there and take advantage of it. Which one did you have stand out to you?
Yeah, I think there are several there that are interesting. I thought that I don't often think of all the recipe sites, and I love to cook, and I follow a lot of different things, and I use Pinterest in that way. I don't think of them as a social network, and they use number 7, they talk about all recipes. And talk about how, and which I've used lots of times, the social nature of all recipes, and it is. And they obviously are connected to Twitter and Facebook, and they have all kinds of other connections. But everything you do in life can be social and can have an impact. So even if you have nothing to do with cooking, but if you are as a business, but you love cooking as a person, you can have a personal impact. Because what you do in your personal space can have an effect on what you do in your business space.
Totally, yeah.
And you could be on all recipes and eventually have connections that help you sell more manly things like mustache combs.
Yeah, whatever it is.
It's Movember. You never know. But whatever that is, you can do that. And I had never thought of all recipes as social, but everything is social. And as using that way and thinking, okay, how can I engage people and then enjoy it? Just be part of it. If you're already engaging in all recipes, then fully engage and realize that what you do there may not, but may have an impact on what you do other places on social media.
I mean, use it and enjoy it for yourself. That's what you want to do. Yeah. Just have fun with it. And if you're using it as a person, we say this all the time on this show. But it's about being personal, about being yourself on social media, whether you're representing your business or yourself. And if you're on all recipes and just having a good time and enjoying it and using it and engaging with people, sometimes that's the best marketing out there. Yeah. It really is.
And as we transition into our last story, and usually we cover about 10 stories. Today we're just doing 4. Instagram is rumored to have messaging coming to it. And what I thought was intriguing was, of a lot of the changes, it didn't say specifically that it was integrating Facebook messaging. Obviously, Facebook spent $1 billion a while back, bought Instagram. Instagram has continue to grow. They've added videos since they've been there, but they really keep it kind of siloed.
Yeah.
And as they're looking to add features, they're not integrating Facebook messaging or Facebook Messenger, and it doesn't say. We don't know. These are rumors.
Right.
But I love to see that they're investing in Instagram. I'm an Instagram user. I'm a follower of people. I post pictures on Instagram. Yeah, what do you think?
You know, we talked about this before the show too. I'm not sure that Instagram necessarily needs a messaging feature. I mean, it's all mobile anyways, and you can comment on a photo and someone can comment back. It'll be cool to see what they do. I mean, it could be useful.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing saying that it's not going to be a benefit, because obviously Facebook and Instagram know what they're doing. They've been incredibly successful. I'm not sure. It might, like
but there
you
is
said,
such
water it down.
there is things as mission creep in certain these, and there is, just like we just looked at 7 niche or niche social media networks. Instagram has a niche, and its niche is its 15-second videos and images that you can look at. And so I don't know if users want to go there and say, this is where I'm going to find a way to message my best friend or message a brand. I think Twitter and Facebook already have that pretty under control. So it's interesting that they're trying to do it that way. Now, one of the other rumored features that I think is really good is kind of a folders feature where you can put all that in. Like I was saying, I have people I follow on Instagram, and we'll call them vomit posters, and suddenly 10 pictures come in, and it'd be nice if I could just accordion them, and then if I have the time, I'll go through what they did last night. What I'm excited about Instagram is they continue to invest in it, and that's a good thing. And I'm thankful for Instagram. I love Instagram. And that kind of transitions us into what we really want to focus on today. It's Thanksgiving week. We're recording this on Tuesday of Thanksgiving week. We'll hopefully have this out for people to start watching it tomorrow, and you may be watching this well after Thanksgiving. But I love that we have a holiday where we can stop and say what we're thankful for, what we're grateful for. And even in our hardest moments, there are things that we can look at, and it'll change our perspective and say, you know what, I'm thankful for that. I read a book a few years ago, and today's an appropriate day to bring up a book by Gary Vaynerchuk, because his new book is coming out, and it is released today. But I loved the thank you economy, and the whole purpose of the thank you economy was simply saying, let's redirect the conversation, especially around social media, but he talked about other things, and realize that caring for your customers and caring for your brand and being a thankful person, that is all the whole new way business is working. And it's a one-on-one conversation. And I thought today, as I was reading some of this thing, I was looking at the last page of his book, and I have the e-version up here, where he gives the quick version of the thank you economy. He says, care about your customers, about your employees, about your brand with everything you've got, and be thankful for that. We're erasing the lines, and social media, there is no longer a line between management and employees and customers. We're all able to interact in the same way, and that frightens a lot of us. But I'm thankful for the opportunity, and I get the opportunity to interact and be thankful directly. So we're going to go through some of our ideas of ways we can be thankful on social media. So Dustin,
Totally.
why don't you, what's your first idea? We'll just go through a couple of them of ways you can be thankful on social media.
Well, the one that I use the most and that I think has the biggest impact is just, every time you get on Twitter, this is about Twitter, so every time I get a tweet, a retweet, a favorite, you have to, anytime someone tweets at you, make sure you reply to them. But anytime someone favorites or retweets you, it's important to do a shout out to that person and say, hey, thank you for retweeting that. Thank you for favoriting that. How's life?
Yeah.
Whatever you're talking about. So that's a personal connection that someone can feel with a brand who's actually thanking them for being involved. I mean, just blatantly saying thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for retweeting that.
And going along with Twitter, I think Twitter is an easy thing because I like their search capabilities. And if you're in some type of industry where you can go to Twitter and say, let's say we're selling car parts, and we can search transmissions and find people that are talking about transmissions and engage with them directly. And a lot of times we can be extremely giving away of information for free. And that's a way to be thankful on Twitter. Sure. And then we can also look for things like if we have people that we follow that make great transmissions or make great parts. I'm not a car guy, so
Yeah.
why I chose that as an illustration, I have no idea. But if we can find ways that we can interact with other brands that we find helpful and saying thank you, helping that thankful spirit, and not just being a promoter of ourselves, but being a promoter of community on Twitter, on Facebook. I think that's one. One I think of with Facebook is using imagery to promote not just ourselves, but how we're thankful for what other people are doing. Now, that sometimes is we may be thankful for what the veterans have done, and making sure on 4th of July and on Veterans Day and Memorial Day that we express our gratitude. But also making sure that there are times when something as special is happening in our community and there's something, someone does something really well, that we use our social media space to say thank you. And make sure it's an honest, it's not just flashy and just trying to get your voice out there, but get out there. And I think Facebook's a great way to do that because you can put a nice photo up, you can link, you can share. A lot of times it's an article on some news site that you can share and say, look, thank you for doing this. Thank you for helping our community. Thank you for helping our country. And those type of things. I remember the President Obama gave out, I think it was 23 different medals of freedom last week. And I saw on my Twitter feed several people thanking different people that were given those medals of freedom and saying, look, thank you for the impact you've made on our country. And I saw brands doing that and celebrating that. And that's helpful.
Yeah. And that's a great example. Another thing would be maybe being thankful for your customers. Sometimes on our Facebook page at Paper Media, we'll do a client spotlight. Recently we did one and just shared about that customer and about that client and what their mission is and what their purpose is and what they're trying to do. And just saying, hey, you can use like you said, here's our space. This is our Facebook page. We're going to talk about you and we're going to say thank you and we're going to spread the word about what you do, and say, hey, thanks for being a customer. We love you and we love what you do. And we're going to show you by sharing it with everybody that follows us and everybody that likes us. We're going to say, hey, you like us, we like these guys, check them out.
Yeah. And I don't know, another idea I had, and I haven't seen anyone do this, and I'm not saying it hasn't been done, but I didn't look for it because I wanted to keep it as my own idea. But using Pinterest, now I'm a Pinterest user, but I'm not a public Pinterest user. I use it kind of for my own personal connection I really use it mostly for things that I cook. And some of my exercise things. But what if you created a pinboard that was just things as a company and as a brand that you're thankful for? And then you kept doing that. And that can be things from the stapler you use as a company that you really like, and you're saying thank you for that stapler, to the customer that you really like, and creating a pinboard and saying these are things we're thankful, and I'm going to pin 4 things a week and remind myself that I'm thankful and remind our business that we're thankful. And I thought pinboard would be an interesting use of that.
Yeah.
And it's not just promoting whatever you do as your core business mission, but promoting that you are part of a community and you want to have a thankful heart. I think that would be just an idea. If you know someone who does that, tweet at us, interact with us, email us. I'd love to know it. And if you're interested in trying it, I'd love to help you try it. So contact me.
Yeah. And if you have anything that you do that you feel like is really well received as far as saying thank you to your customers, your employees, whatever it is, we'd love to know about it, and we'd love to share it with other viewers. So leave us a comment, send us an email, find us on Twitter. We'll give you all that information later, but interact with us. We want to be able to be there for you and to share your word as well.
Yeah. And I think as we end here, these are just a few of the ideas, and there's so many different ways that you can use social media. But I want to say this. One, happy Thanksgiving to all those who might be watching. Happy Thanksgiving to you, Dustin. I hope that what I love about as we enter the holidays and it goes into Christmas and New Year's, but this starts an opportunity for us to focus on things a little bit differently. But it also brings up a time that's the busiest time for many of the small and medium businesses. And I think it's always amazing that it starts out, any great movement starts by people taking a step back and being thankful for where they are and thankful for the opportunity of where they can go. Yeah. And let's start that here as a small and medium businesses that are focused on doing the mission that you were given to do and are gifted to do and are powering the economy here. We want to help you do that. This is part of what we're here. We really want you to know that we're here to serve you. And we're thankful for the opportunity to try to create something that will hopefully help small and medium businesses and we're hopeful that we can have a little interaction on social media.
Yeah, so please connect with us. You can connect with me on Twitter personally, at Dustin Hickle. I'd love to help you with any questions that you've got. Also, you can follow at PayPro Media. I'm there too. Again, love to help you with anything. Any questions, anything you've got, send them my way.
Yeah, and you can connect with me at NK Manahan. You can on Twitter search me anyway. I'd love to interact with you. You can email us. You can connect with us through the PayPro Media site, paypromedia.com. And I want to say a special shout out to our editor JT, who will be doing the work to make us look a lot better, and we're thankful for him. So I hope you guys have had or are having a wonderful Thanksgiving, a wonderful holiday season, and we'd love to hear from you about what we could do to help you with social media. This has been Informe, a social media conversation. We'll see you next time.